A break from the daily routine at home and work can do wonders for our well-being. Beginning to plan a much-needed vacation is the moment your future getaway feels real, but these days that can be the hardest part. To help you get started, here are our vacation planning tips and recommendations for your pure Michigan getaway. Breathtaking winter landscapes, family fun, starry skies, outdoor adventures and places to shop, eat and stay local. Everyone can experience it all in pure Michigan. From scenic routes on the open road to rugged trails, from the snow-covered to the well-traveled, they all lead us to the beauty of nature and simple pleasures. Find inspiration for your future getaway with our unique trip ideas and take a sneak peek with Michigan's live webcams. Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. Ever feel like you've stood on top of the world? This is the place to get a taste. Hovering over 400 feet above the vibrant Lake Michigan Baby Blues, the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore is a treasure that never fails to awe its visitors and locals. Wine tasting. Thanks to the wonders of the 45th parallel, the shared latitude for Italy's Piedmont region and Bordeaux in France, the Traverse Wine Coast overfloweth at about 40 different wineries, vineyards and tasting rooms. And, thanks to Grand Traverse Bay, the land is insulated from Mother Nature's inconsistencies with the bonus of extended daylight, aka more time for slow, luscious ripening. Ranging from crisp whites to complex reds, our winemakers have put us on a lot of lists, including Travel Channel's top 10 cities for wine snobs. Microbreweries. Liquid bread. Maybe it's the plaid shirts, the gnarly beards, or maybe it's the killer folky playlist floating over the taps. Whatever the je ne sais quoi, breweries somehow all say, "You're welcome here." Well, you're about a dozen times welcome in TC. Each brewery and taproom brings their own quirk to the pub table, yet all share a foundation to showcase our land. Whether Empire hops, asparagus, whiskey, farm-raised pork, apples or a whole cherry pie, there's a pint for that, and we're raising it. Dining. Do you know what's better than liquid bread? Pair it with solid bread. And house-made butter, because you know we're bringing that farm to your table here on the 45th parallel. Churn baby, churn. But really, coming in second place to California as the most agriculturally diverse state in the U.S., our northern corner of Michigan is, well, fruitful. Outdoor recreation. Well, thanks to that fruit salad, liquid and solid bread, we all need to get a few extra miles in. And there are countless ways to get up and get moving, no gym required. With midsummer days being extraordinarily long on the 45th parallel, we have extra hours in the day to hike, bike, fish, golf, swim, sail or just wander down the trail. Detroit is a lively city with a fascinating history and an exciting future, rapidly becoming a must-visit destination in the USA. Nicknamed Motor City, it's best known as the birthplace of the modern automobile, with visitors flocking to the infamous Henry Ford experience. However, Detroit is much more than just cars, thanks to a thriving art, music, sports, and nightlife scene. Number 1 Motown Museum. Experience the birthplace of Motown music. The modest Motown Museum was where legends like Marvin Gaye and Michael Jackson got their start. After enjoying the hour-long tour, you will truly understand why the words, Hitsville, USA, are carved into the former studio-turned-museum. The tour starts with a 20-minute video that pays homage to the studio's founder, Berry Gordy. This is followed up with the story of the Motown genre and cultivation of acts such as the Supremes and the Temptations. Music aficionados will love the ending of the tour, which stops in the recording studio where hits such as Ain't No Mountain High Enough were produced. Number 2. Belle Isle. Detroit's summertime island oasis, Belle Isle has evolved from the playground of the rich to a stunning state park available to all. The 3-mile island teems with activities for outdoor lovers such as hiking, fishing, sunbathing and golf. Check out the Belle Isle Aquarium to admire the impressive collection of colorful reef fish and electric eels. If you are interested in the history of the region, the Great Lakes Museum is a great place to spend a rainy day. Belle Isle is located right in the center of the Detroit River. Access is free if you bike or walk over the bridge that requires a paid permit if you drive. Number 3. Attend a major sports ball game. Experience unmatched fandom in Detroit. Detroit is one of the few cities in the USA that's home to teams in all 4 major professional sports, meaning an exciting ball game takes place almost nightly. 24 championships have been won combined by the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, and Red Wings, so you know world-class sports is always on display. Detroit is commonly referred to as Hockey Town because of the Red Wings' dominance in recent decades. A playoff game at Little Caesars Arena, shared with the Pistons, is a must-see. Comerica Park, home of the Tigers, takes the cake as the coolest sports venue in town with a carousel and Ferris wheel inside the stadium. Take a break from the hustle and bustle and step back into a time of horse-drawn carriages and elegant accommodations. Mackinac Island is a favorite Michigan island getaway that offers a unique experience unlike any other in the country. Bike around the island without fear of cars, enjoy a fine dining experience at the Grand Hotel, and explore the island's military history at Fort Mackinac, a National Historic Landmark. Oh, and don't forget the epic fudge shops. Let's look at how to see it all on a day trip to Mackinac Island. 1. You have to take a ferry to get here. In the summer, you have to take a ferry, or charter a boat, to get to Mackinac Island. There's nothing else for it, for most of us. If you've got cash to burn you could charter a small plane, but other than that you have to get on a boat. 2. No cars on the island. Back when automobiles were first invented, the locals didn't appreciate the noise and pollution, scaring all the island's horses and upsetting their carriages. They successfully passed a law prohibiting horseless carriages from the island. Nowadays, it's a nostalgia factor. Still no motorized vehicles and one of the only places left in America where the primary source of transportation is horse-drawn carriage. A quaint look into a bygone era. Horse-drawn carriages and bicycles are the 2 ways to get around, besides walking. Even the trash trucks are horse-drawn containers. 3. Island life is expensive. Preserving old buildings is expensive. Importing food to an island is expensive, even one just a couple miles offshore in a Great Lake. The lodging capacity of the island is impressive with its luxury resorts, boutique inns, and bed and breakfasts, but the demand far exceeds the capacity, so rates are always high. There's no getting around it. The island's only economy is tourism, and the island is only comfortably accessible for about half of the year. They need to make a year's worth of revenue in just 6 months. 4. Check the weather before your trip. Visiting this critical point in the Straits of Mackinac can mean unpredictable weather. The Great Lakes are so large, they're more like inland seas. They create weather just like oceans do. It will always be on the cool side in the evenings, and even the high in July doesn't exceed the mid-70s degree F. You can count on a decent breeze most days, as well. Check the forecast before you leave so you can pack appropriately. Stand in awe next to a root beer-colored thundering waterfall as millions of gallons of water cascade over a 50-feet drop of the Michigan Upper Peninsula escarpment. Then go see how clear that tan water actually is as you wade in the eddies and watch the lower falls gently hop, skip, and jump their way around a river island before continuing on their way to Lake Superior. The waterfalls are impressive and a must-see, but that's not the only thing to do at Tahquamenon Falls State Park. Go for a hike, kayak the river, or spend a peaceful weekend camping in this beautiful corner of the Michigan Up. Here's how to spend a day at Tahquamenon Falls State Park. What's so special about Tahquamenon Falls? Tahquamenon Falls, 2 kWA mu non, rhymes with phenomenon, is a beautiful and popular pair of waterfalls in the eastern end of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, UP. While this is a wonderful spot to camp out, many people visit Tahquamenon Falls State Park as a day trip from further afield. The showstoppers at this Michigan State Park are the waterfalls, of course. They are the second largest falls east of the Mississippi River by volume, dwarfed only by Niagara Falls in New York. A mix of white and tan water cascades over a 50-feet cliff at Upper Tahquamenon Falls in Michigan. The water is also a unique shade of brown, a chemical reaction from decomposing forest leaves, which has earned the nickname Root Beer Falls. We've also heard Dr. Pepper Falls, Café au Lait Falls, and Iced Tea Falls. How to get to Tahquamenon Falls State Park. The park is about 1.5 hours from Munising, Sault Ste. Marie, or Mackinac City, where most visitors' day trips begin. If Whitefish Point is also on your Michigan Up bucket list, we suggest you add it to the same day trip as Tahquamenon Falls. Whitefish Point is only 30 minutes from Tahquamenon Falls State Park. Why go to Ann Arbor? When you think of Ann Arbor, you likely think of the University of Michigan. In some ways, the two are synonymous. You're bound to bump shoulders with students along Main Street when class is in session, and it's impossible not to feel the buzz in the air when football season arrives. But in other ways, Ann Arbor has an identity all its own. The city has a certain quirkiness to it, evidenced by its secret fairy doors and unique festivals like Apple Days in the fall and Festivals in the spring. Ann Arbor has the goods to impress foodies as well. Even former President Barack Obama devoured the famous Reuben sandwich at Zingerman's Deli. And the town isn't nicknamed the City of Trees for nothing. Visitors can paddle and hike their way down the lush Huron River Water Trail or behold the glory of peony season at the Mathey Botanical Garden in early summer. No matter what time of year you visit, you're likely to discover a side of Ann Arbor you didn't know was there, and wonder why you didn't book a trip to this Michigan gem sooner. The best time to visit Ann Arbor is between May and September, when temperatures rest comfortably in the 70s and 80s and activities abound. It is the perfect time to get outside and experience Ann Arbor's beloved outdoor spaces, like the Huron River and Mathey Botanical Gardens. If a fall or winter trip tickles your fancy, you will still find plenty to do. College football season runs from September to November, so that's a great time to visit if you'd like to catch a game at Michigan Stadium. In the colder months, spend time in Ann Arbor's many indoor museums or enjoying special holiday events, like Kindle Fest. Just remember to pack several layers of clothing for the bone-chilling temperatures of early spring, especially if you plan to spend time outdoors.